Welcome back to Revs That Count. Today, no studio shots, no spec shits, no walk-arounds, just you and me and the road. And of course, Alak is going to feature on the screen and in the video, but well, it's just you and me. We're behind the wheel of the Mercedes-Benz Vito Tourer 116 CDI, a van built for business, for family, and for long-haul comfort. This isn't about how it looks like when it's parked, but it's how about it feels when it's moving. How's the steering response? How the 2-liter turbo diesel pulls? How refined the people mover can really be. We'll take it through city traffic. On Malibongo, everyone that is in South Africa knows how Malibongo traffic is like. Now, someone can argue and say Winnie Mandela is something else, but Malibongo is a rod from anyway. And later on, we'll bring it out at night and see how it handles low light driving, cabin ambience, and the real world visibility. When it comes to ambience, we say that there is really nothing to it, hard plastics and that sort of thing. But when you go to buy one, you can still customize it to your own specification and you turn it into a party bus, a family vacation trip, or anything of that sort. So let's buckle up and see if this Vito truly delivers where it matters the most, on the road. This is Revs That Count. My name is Tatenda, and let's go, gents and ladies and children and grannies and granddads and everyone. Let's go. Now the real test begins. Night driving reveals everything. Headlights throw, cabin installations, screen brightness, and how confident you feel behind the wheel when the sun disappears. I must say, when you are looking at it, the screen is not bright at all. So it's never going to affect you as a driver. I think that's one thing that I can give it to them and say, Merc, well done, Mac, well done. All right, now we are cruising at 120 kilometers an hour. And don't tell me that I was doing 140 because I stick to the speed limit. I'm one of those guys that speed does not fascinate me at all because I've driven it all, I've done it all. And when you talk about speed, I'm like, ah. And even when I review other faster cars like the BMW M4 and the Porsche 911 GTS, yes, you talk about 0 to 100 in 4 seconds or 5 seconds. But for the most part, I'm always about, can it get me from point A to point B? And I think the bus is really not a sports car. It is there to take you from point A to point B. But firstly, you notice in the Vito that it doesn't drive like a van. Yes, you talk about road noises and all that sort of thing, but for the most part, it does not drive like a van. The steering is lighter, as you would expect. It's not vague. There's enough weight to give you confidence, especially at higher speeds. High speeds, I mean 120 kilometers an hour. Powering this is a 2-liter turbo diesel pushing out 120 kilowatts and 380 newton meters of torque. And you feel that torque lower down. It doesn't scream for revs, it just pulls smoother, linear, effortless. You see that? That's where the engine makes sense. It's not fast, but it's strong. And it's something that is of this size. Strong is what matters. Yes, for the most part, I was not staying in the fast lane because I love being in the fast lane. But even in the middle lane, you still got the gas. Yes, of course, the guys with the BMWs and the Mercedes-Benz and the AMGs, they're going to come and just whoop, go past you just like that. But this is about enjoying as a family on a long trip, on a long ride. Now listen to the suspension. For the people mover, it's surprisingly composed. Yes, you feel the rod. It's still a commercial-based platform and it's controlled. No excessive bouncing, no floatiness. If you're using this for airport transfers, family road trips, and executive shuttle work. Passenger comfort matters, and this, I said it earlier in the video. If you haven't seen it, just check it up there. You said this is more centered around the passenger than it is on the driver. Yes, the driver has got the comfort. Yes, the driver has got the visibility. But for the people that are at the back, not that I've experienced it, but I know your family is going to enjoy it, because from what Alake said as well, his first impressions were, oh, I'm so far from you, Dad, because you're sitting right there in front and I'm right there at the back. But for the most part, it gives that feel of, oh, I'm arriving at school in comfort. I'm arriving to holiday in that sort of comfort. And I'm happy. I don't know about you. Well, it's not luxury. It's not a C class. It's not an X class kind of experience. The materials are durable rather than plush, but it's intentional. Built for work. It's built to last. And something durability is more important than soft touch plastics. I think that's one thing about Mercedes or the Germans, that it's about durability. You can feel that leather, that even if after 20, 30, 40 years, the leather still is intact. It may be wrinkled here and there, but if you took care of it, or if you're buying a pre-owned one and the person that had the previous owner was taking good care of it, you'll still get value for your money. There's something business owners would appreciate, because when you buy something for business, you always wanted to give back the money that you've spent on it. I think business people will understand. I may not be speaking about it in the way that it's supposed to, but business people will understand what I'm talking about. Now, the highway behavior at 120 kilometers an hour, this is where refinement really shows. Wind noises are present, yes. You are in a large vehicle. It is not intrusive. The cabin is just calm. It's enough to hold a conversation without raising your voice. Yes, Alake was a bit far, and I spoke about it in the previous video, that you can have walkie-talkies to sort of like engage with everyone that is at the back, but you don't need to scream. When you are driving 60 to 80 kilometers an hour, there is a little bit of road noises. And I think also urban driving, there's always going to be road noises because of cars that are around you and. But for the most part, when you're on 120, 100 to 120, the road noises are very, very minimal. Of course, you know you're always going to get road noises. So you can't hide away from that. They're always going to be there. You're always going to feel it, because this is a van at the end of the day. But also, calling it a van, what do you think? Calling this bad boy a van, I think just feels like you are disrespecting it. Cruising like this is what the Vito is made for. When you're on open road, we went to the airport, we went to Soweto, this is where you get to experience what the Vito is about. For urban driving, I don't think it's the one. To take the kids to school and whatnot, I don't think it's the one. And also there is talks that with a diesel engine, it needs to be on a stretch for it to last longer. So urban driving, gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, it's not going to work. So keep this as a commercial vehicle, because airport shuttles, from where I stay to the airport, is going to take you probably an hour or so. So that on a long stretch is going to help out. Other than that, you have this and it's just chilling. Then you have a smaller car. That's the one that you're going to do your errands and do grocery shopping and whatnot as an extra car, and it's going to help out. Night driving. Before cutting to the night footage, let's add this, guys. But driving during the day only tells you half the story. Night driving reveals the real character of the vehicle, headlights performance, cabin lighting, and the visibility fatigue levels. Let's see how the Vito handles when the sun goes down. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Then use on letter back there. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. Because we don't know. Yeah, because we going that way. So what do you want? Guys, we just spoke to traffic cops and they didn't ask for my license. How's that? So helpful, officers. So helpful. That's what they just said. Because what is one of them all that is routine anyway. They're going back. Oh, they were going. No, they were going. Maybe they are coming from that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm confused. So where do we go? Can you lock GPS on your phone? I don't know that.
I wish I could get it, but then I can't.
And there you have it, folks. If you're still here, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Mr. How Much always says, please support local YouTube, guys. It's the right thing to do. Apart from that, let me know what you guys think of this POV. Let me know what you think of the music in between. And let me know what you think about the way, the sequencing that we've gone about in 2026. I'm super excited because there's a lot of changes that are going to come to the channel. Thumbnails are going to be different as well, and everything that we're going to do. But from my respect or my promise to you is quality content never needs a backset. I'm always going to be that guy that's going to come through and make sure that I give you guys the best of what I do. I'm super excited for my next review, and you're going to see it soon. And please hang around. If you're new to the channel, please click that subscribe button. If you haven't liked this video thus far, please do so. And share it to your friends. Tell them no that there is a Mr. Revs out there that is doing his thing. He's a cricket coach as well. And let me know also in the comment section, do you know me from a cricket point of view, or do you know me from a cars point of view, or the other? Thank you so much for everyone that has helped me to shoot this video. Thank you to everyone that has sponsored the video and being there for me from the get-go when I say that I'm going to start something like this, and getting the consistency to carry on doing what I'm doing. See you guys on the other side. Thanks. Keep those engines revving. This is Revs That Count. See you guys on the other one. Cheers for now. Away or bye-bye. Whichever one you want. Cheers, guys. Keep well.